Say we want Levy out.
When is your breaking point? Tell me. When are you going to learn that we're doing it for the good of
We sang in the rain, we sang in the sun, and we sang in the rain. They're trying to stop us, look what they did. The thing I don't want to say is leave it out, leave it out, leave it out. The thing I don't want to say is leave it out, leave it out, leave it out.
Hi guys, it's Dino here. I'm here at the protest, as you can see.
We want Levy out! We want Levy out! We want Levy out!
It's very bright, there's the stadium.
We want Levy out!
Now I hear there's going to be loads of protests in the stadium, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, but it's all peaceful. Please come and join us if you fancy having a little say of what you want. And yeah, Levy out.
Welcome to Spurs Vision TV, right? This is my, I call it midweek Levy out show, right? I'm going to do this more or less every week until let's see what happens, right? Whether Levy gets kicked out or, you know, we'll continue doing until Levy gets kicked out, right? Of course, good evening all you guys in Asia, right? And of course, good afternoon to all you guys, or more or less good evening to all you guys in the UK or Europe, and of course, good morning to all you guys in America or wherever around the world, right? Welcome to Spurs Vision TV, right? Today I've got a guest, Elias, on with me, right? We're going to talk about Levy out and all that, and just dissect a few things that's been happening throughout the week, right? Since last week when I did my Levy out show, so. A lot of things been happening, but of course, after the loss at home to Brentford, I guess you know. But don't forget, guys, right? We had the chairman's message, right? Last game at home. What did you? I'll go first, right, on this matter, right? The message was given out. I guess it came in the program. The only thing is that I'm going to say shame on you, Levy, right? You didn't once apologize to the fans. Have you not noticed, guys? We keep harboring about the bullshit that he says, right? But he did not once apologize for the shambolic season that we've had, right? This season, right? Not once. So this shows, right, the kind of ego that our chairman has, right? Not being humble enough, right, to be able to say sorry to the fans and try to be better next time, right? But before that, let me say a big shout out to guys in the chats, right? Sophia, big up Sophia. Right, say no more Gov, and of course Raisuke, big up, right, Raisuke, we're going on to that later. Another manager running away, great, right? There's segments to it, right? So, Elias, did you read the chairman's message? Right, I know a lot of things they're saying. They never admitted it's their mistake. It's always they. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's symbolic in many ways. The guy is only talking about and asking the fans to support his interim managers, which is Vicky Jepson and Ryan Mason. Vicky Jepson for ladies. She's taking care of the ladies side, and also right now, I think the academy side as well. We don't have a director. I think he mentioned even something about that. Yeah, towards the end, he congratulate the under 17s and under 18s who won their respective league cups. And then in the end, he bid farewell to Lucas Moura. Yeah, so a lot of things. He has kind of deflected the whole issue from the issues, the shambolic things of the club. Then the other thing is he has not at anywhere mentioned Antonio Conte and Ryan Skinner, the two managers who have been handling the entire season. Ryan Skinner for the ladies side, and then Conte for the men's side. I know that yes, you have fired them and all that, but not a single mention of them in the chairman's message. It's symbolic. Like you can at least say that okay, yes, we had a great time working with them, or we had good time, or we were doing well, and then some things didn't work out. Something like, but he knew that yes, if he need to mention them, then he needs to also apologize to the fans. The symbolic things that he has done. It's kind of embarrassing And that's why, I mean, like when Eugene told me, like, Elias, have you watched the chairman's message? I'm like, yeah, couldn't care less. Uh, so seriously, it's one hell of a. This guy is so shameless. I must say, he's extremely shameless person.
We just go back to this. Like he's just an egomaniac, maybe, right? To tell you the
Exactly.
truth, no. But the thing is that you had 23 years as a chairman of a football club, and you still haven't learned how to be a chairman
Exactly.
of a football club, right? So why are you still there? You can say not. Have you not understand that we are a football club? If you win things, you will get fans. You can say not. Come on, Elias, we're from Asia, right? How do Asian fans, right, support a football club? If they win things.
If they win things, yes, we don't
If they
care
win
about
the
the
matches,
football.
yeah, if they win the
Yeah.
matches. And the best part about Asian people, right? Sorry to say that, right? A lot of us, right, watch football for an alternate reason, right? A
Yep.
little punt here and there, right? If you make me money, right, I'll be a diehard supporter. You get what I'm saying? It's like people like me, 40 years of being a Spurs fan, loses. Okay, I've lost, and I don't want to go into that, right? Yeah, but I'm still a Spurs fan. But the thing is that if
Yep.
you don't understand, for 23 years, you still can't get it right. Why are you still there? And you come up with a message like that, right? At end of this season, where we've seen, right? Last season, we got Nuno, your back was against the wall, you bring Conte, you don't support Conte as he needs to be supported, right? Conte went on to a break meltdown early in November last season after the Burnley game. That was the first signal that it was there. Then until the Southampton game, another 16 or 12 months later, he has this major meltdown and he spills the beans, right? Instead of supporting the manager, you let the manager go on mutual consent. That shows your ambition for our club, right? And you support the players, but not the manager. So you deserve what you get. So have you not learned your lessons, right, throughout your tenure as the chairman? You're looking at the wrong direction, totally the wrong direction, right? Yeah, yep. I saw that too. Yeah, I saw that too.
You
Yeah,
saw
I
that.
know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that too. He did it on earlier, right? He saw that he did it. Like, I saw that too. Yeah, but to tell the truth, flip flops. I ain't gonna comment on that. So there are a lot of
Okay.
flip
Okay.
flops in
Yeah. Yeah.
idol. Yeah, So at the
Yeah.
moment, of
Yeah.
course, you're not happy. You are. Then after that, you're not. But to tell the truth, now we're talking about the person who's in charge. If you're in charge of something for 23 years and you can't perfect it, right? Why are you still there? You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You should be gone a long
That's
time
my
ago,
point.
right? And you come up with a message like that, right? Not being at least apologetic to what's happened, right? Not even to say apologetic for what happened this season. What about the season past and the season past and the season past, right? But nah, the ego is too big,
And
right?
you are asking to show support and thanks to the interim managers who have done nothing since they have taken on. What has Vicky Chapson done? What has Ryan Mason done, guys? Seriously, those two
No,
guys
it's
are.
no. What I'm saying, you see, this is the kind of messages that come out from our club, right? Which is we all
Yeah.
know is just another PR stir, right? It's just you're just stirring the PR pot again, right? To try to appease the fans, right? But to tell the truth, I keep saying, right, Daniel Levy, if you are just being humble, be a humble person and admit your mistakes, right? Then maybe the fans will be more sympathetic to your stupidity. You get what I'm saying, right? But the problem is that, right? The writing is on the wall. 23 years, guys. You get what I'm saying? 23 years. And you still can't get it right. When are you going to get it right? Never. Okay? You will never get it right as the chairman, right? And a part of that, you don't take responsibility. Okay? You don't take responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. You get what I'm saying? Right? If the thing is that if you come down and sit down and says that, okay, it's my fault, right? I'm going to take responsibility for my actions, right? And this has to be done, then maybe we will have something better. But at the moment, as I see it, it won't be any better if he doesn't come down to the ground and stand on the ground and understand that, right? The footballing part is not for him to run, Okay, the
Exactly.
footballing part is not for him to run, right? And this is just not even the first message that is come out, right? Okay, it's not the first message, right? And it will be 123 years, right? Levy's great grandson will be churning out excuses for the fans. Yep, Chris Stone, big up to you, Chris Stone. 123 years, right?
Yeah, guys.
And of course, Resoki is saying, imagine being 8th richest club in the world and being operated like an amateurish club. Pathetic, right? This is all Levy's making, right? And I feel on the verge of, we're on the verge of a major collapse. To tell the truth, right? We are not actually on a, we're already in a major collapse at the moment.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I
We're
was
not on the
about to
verge.
say. You
Really,
don't have a
yeah.
women's manager. You don't have a ladies. Sorry, you don't
Men's
have a footballing
manager,
director. You don't have a men's manager. You don't have an academy director. You don't have a. What else you don't have? There are quite a lot of things that you don't
POF
have.
you don't
And
have, right?
we don't have a
And
tea lady as well. I think she also
no,
resigned
no, no,
recently.
no, no. Yeah. I think we still have the tea lady because the most probably the tea lady will be appointed our next manager after this, right? After all this debacle
Also,
that goes on. Yeah. But to tell you the truth, and the other thing is
maybe we
that you
don't have a
bring
coffee lady. We don't have a coffee lady because English people don't drink
uh
coffee.
yeah, coffee lady, a coffee man. Not to be sexist,
Yeah,
so we need a
barista
barista,
for the
right?
proper
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
barista.
Levy ain't paying for the 30,000 pound machine, coffee making machine, right? Most probably he'll
He
find
has
some
those
Malaysian
pods,
mamat
but
to
the
do
one that
the
you put in the
coffee
pods.
tarik. Employ call somebody just to do the coffee by manual, right? But okay, coming back again, right? There is another scenario is that at the moment now we've got this guy called Scott Munn. Okay, he's being brought in.
Scott M.
Yeah, Scott M. Yeah, big up to our Scott M from Canada, but he ain't the Scott Munn that we know. He ain't the Scott M that we make him out to be. All right, Scott M now comes in, right? His expertise is Asian football. The question is that why are you bringing an expert on Asian football into European football? Don't you see the mistakes that you're making again? Unless you're saying you're bringing Scott Munn in as a marketing person, right, to expand our brand into Asia, right, to do, right, we call sell more, we call kits to Asia, right,
Yep.
promote, Spurs to the Asian market, to make Asia more aware of Spurs. Yeah, but you bring him into Europe to run as a chief footballing officer. And don't be surprised. Yeah, don't be surprised, right? Because the last posting he was having, I guess it was more or less based in China, right? So
No, he was
maybe
in
that's
Australia. I think his previous posting. Previous one was he
no. I
was.
think the last posting he had was he was part of the M City group that was in China. You look it up. See, Scott Munn. He's an Australian, right? He started off organizing the Sydney Olympics and all that, and he went on to be the MCT Manchester City Group kind of CEO or CFO or something like that. There, then he was being head of the China division or something like that for MCT Group, right? To run the MC whatever. So for all you guys, don't be surprised, right? We'll be getting Chinese football players coming in because if we can get a good Chinese football player in Spurs jersey, right? Most probably that will be replacing Son's position, right? Why didn't we just go and get Mitoma and get the Japanese market? Wouldn't that be better? Stupid idiot.
Yeah, it will be
Yeah, that's a stupid
Mitoma
idiot. Yeah,
or get
Mitoma.
Minamino, one of those players.
Yeah. Get one Japanese players, right? Look at what Crystal is saying, laughing aloud again. Yeah. Marketing in Asia. Does Levy understand that many
Yeah,
Asian
so
countries cultures is sport winners? Yeah, not losers, right? That's what we were talking about earlier, right? That's
Yep.
the problem with Levy is that, right? Yeah. Raisoke is saying Kamada is there too, right? Sunji High 2.0. Yeah. For fuck's
Any
sake.
Malaysian players that are good?
Yeah, I don't know. Malaysian players. So we might get Malaysian market not big enough, lah. You know, saying Malaysian market not big enough.
We
If not,
also get some players from Brazil apparently, right?
Yeah. No, I'm saying we imagine, isn't it so weird, right? You get your preseason friendly in Singapore and Bangkok, and Malaysia is stuck in between.
And we don't come there.
Because
Eugene is there. Eugene
there's
will
one
organize
guy saying, Faisal Halim, yeah, maybe, yeah, Faisal Halim.
Can you play the center back?
Yeah, Faisal Halim.
Yeah.
Who plays as center back?
He plays as a center. I know he's a forward. Okay, I don't think we
Yeah,
need forwards anymore. But
yeah,
Levy
I
loves
know.
buying forwards for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. Forwards are the ones that get the goals, right? Get the excitement. So that's why he bring in forwards, right? But what I'm saying at the moment now, right? No, what he says, no, no, not a centre back. Okay, not centre back, forward. But okay, coming back to the chairman's message, right? He's been putting out messages like this for the past 3 years, more or less, right? Because the first one I came across was the one during the Aston Villa game. That was the first match post COVID, if I'm not mistaken, right? That they had home fans in, right? And then he admitted that he's going to bring back our DNA. He's misspent 250 million. Fast forward 2-3 years now, we've gone through Mourinho, we've gone through Mourinho, we've gone through Nuno, we've gone through Antonio Conte. Now we've misspent 500 million, right?
Exactly.
So now it comes down to this is very simple, right? No accountability, no responsibility taken by the chairman. He's the head of the whole club, right? If he doesn't take accountability and doesn't take responsibility for his actions, right? What do you think the players are going to do? They don't care either, because all they're going to be there is just get the paycheck and get out of there, right? That's how I see it, right? And of course, Levy says that yeah, we become a graveyard for managers because of Levy. Yep, I know. Yep. No, yeah. The thing is that these managers that we become a graveyard too, right? DV, they will go to another club and they'll be revived again, right? So it's like from the
Exactly.
phoenix from the ashes, right? And not to forget, right? Don't forget the statement from Mourinho today, right? Mourinho says something like, he won't have
Yeah. He said that
the
among
least
all the
affection.
clubs that he has
Yeah,
he has managed, he doesn't have any form of deep feeling for Tottenham among all
yeah,
the clubs
yeah.
that he has managed.
Yeah,
And
true.
check the timing. Just check the timing of the news, guys. Seriously,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what that really put Levy in the mud.
Yeah. And the best part is because I don't blame him, right? Because when Mourinho was brought in, half of the fan base wasn't happy with him, right? And of course, they complained about the
No, they were
football.
happy at first. They were happy at first. Then towards the seventh month, they were like, "Oh, his football is boring." All that nonsense that they put up for
No, but
Conte.
you can't blame him to a certain extent. Come on, right? He wanted Skriniar. You get Roden, right? So
Yep.
it's already written there. So you don't get the players you want. It comes to simple things like that, right? And of course, now, to tell the truth, right? Under his watch, we've deteriorated, right, in the past 2-3 years until where we are now. We are sitting in 8th position, okay? 8th position, and hoping to go to Leeds and win, and hoping Brighton beats Aston Villa just to get into the Conference League, right? And then when we get to the Conference League, right, it's not to say we haven't been there before. We've been there before, right? And our fan base will say, oh, it's a Mickey Mouse club, blah, blah, blah. Guys, wake
No,
up.
Mickey Mouse tournament, not the club.
Yeah, yeah,
But we
yeah.
are
Oh,
a
sorry,
Mickey Mouse
Mickey Mouse
club
tournament.
anyways.
Yeah. We are a Mickey Mouse
We are
club.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
We are a
a
Mickey Mouse
club.
club that should be playing Mickey Mouse tournaments, by the way. Yeah.
And we'll be playing in the Mickey Mouse tournament. Guys, we should wake up, right? West Ham, if they win that cup, right, it's going to be, my God, they'll be having a parade in London instead of us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And the best part, West Ham will be the only London club in the Premier League that's won something. Imagine that, guys. My God, right? My God, right? That really, really makes my blood boil, right? Right. And of course, Levy says, Mr. Levy Club. Jose statement sums up Levy. Yep. Fans, please spend 250 million on 4 world-class players. Yep. Market rate. Levy is better if net spend 107 players. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. What else we got? Conference or no conference? To tell the truth, don't care the moment. Conference or no conference.
Yep.
And of course, fire sale. More like a firing squad. And don't forget, right? The club came out with a statement something about right. We're gonna tear up all the contracts for those who are not the players that we don't want and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
And how ironic, winning something among the London clubs. Yeah, that's the big laugh, right? They even beat Arsenal and Chelsea, right? Not to say about us, right? Big up, Luca. How you doing? Hope you're fine, right? Lucas from Arsenal. Sorry that you didn't. Yeah, sorry you couldn't win the couldn't win the Premier League, right? Sorry, right? And of course, we're all okay. We're all okay. Yeah, this is a Levy out show, so we're gonna rant about Levy, right? So the chairman's message. Right. Hope you're good. Yep. Luca is good too. Right. Chairman's message, bullshit. No apologies. Ego,
As
not humble
expected.
enough. Don't want to take responsibility. Cold. Don't care, right? And of course, we'll move to the next one, right? Somehow or another, this is the big thing now. Data
I'm going to
analytics.
talk about it. I've got a lot to say about this.
Yeah.
Guys,
Data analytics. Why I go first, right?
yeah, you go first. Go
We
first.
are $1 billion club, right? And we don't even have this. Aren't we ashamed? We should be ashamed, right? And the best part is, right, even if we have this, will our chairman follow it? Take the
By the way,
recommendations and give it.
Eugene, hold on.
Uh,
You want to give a bit of context to the people in the chat what this whole thing, the data analytics, because some of them may not know that what we are talking about.
Okay. You go into the context of data analytics while I just go through the chats, right?
Yeah, so basically, Daniel Levy has come out and said that he is following the Brighton and the Brentford method, and he is working with betting companies to know how they work out the data and all that to look into how we should be managing Tottenham Hotspur. First of all, isn't it kind of fishy that he's referring to betting companies, guys? Betting companies. What kind of data can they provide in terms of managing a club? Like seriously, that's pathetic, in my opinion.
No, the betting companies, right? Most probably be Southeast Asian betting companies giving him details, right, of how many fouls, how many free kicks, right? What the players does and all that, so he can further his betting data analytics. Betting companies.
No, I'm not joking, by the way, guys. He literally said it himself that he is working with betting companies together with Scott Munn, and they are actually looking into this particular thing from that
now
point of view.
we know why Scott Munn has been brought in, right? Because Scott Munn is from Asia.
Yeah.
With betting
Scott
companies.
M, you're in the mud. Scott M, you're in the mud. We are putting you in the mud today.
Oh dear, right. Betting companies, right? Yeah, spreadsheet for Levy. No, but to tell the truth, right, guys, to me is that I don't understand this, right? We are a multi-billion-dollar club, right? That doesn't even have a data analytics department that actually studies what we are supposed to do. But I think he will have a data analytics, right, on how to run concerts, how to do NFL, how to do the go-kart for the Formula One, but not football, right? Not football, right? And of course, I got to quote people like, like Stell and all that. They were saying, right, if you don't even listen to the top elite managers that come in, right, why are you going to listen to this? Just because Brighton and Brentford all of a sudden has got success from this, right? And to tell the truth, Liverpool has been using it since Klopp has been there, right?
Yep.
Right. And to tell the truth, maybe we are using data analytics, right? But the cheaper version. Maybe a cheaper version. You don't get the full data.
The made in China version.
Most probably the made in China version is the bad version. The made in somewhere else version, I'm gonna say it.
Made in where?
Oh dear, data analytics. But I don't know. Sometimes the statements the club they are releasing now, right? And of course, right,
The
they're
one you
saying
get from Pastor Malam.
Yeah, maybe, right. And big up to Nick Brown, big up, right? Nick Brown, right? This club is a laughing stock. Yeah, we know the club is a laughing stock.
No, let me explain why.
Right, Suki is saying that maybe it could be the outdated data analytics that we're getting. Yeah.
I mean, let me put it straightforward way. First of all, why are you going into a new model? Like, let's say you're looking into data analytics when you don't have a footballing director. Yes, Scott Mann, fair enough. Okay, I understand that maybe I'll give him the benefit of doubt there that yes, you got Scott Mann and yes, he's helping you look into a new approach and all that. But when you don't have a footballing director, you don't have a manager, you don't have any form of experienced coaching staff who can manage the club on a longer run. You don't have a model, first of all, like what the manager's vision is all about. Who's going to look into the data? Also, I think one thing about data, I think yesterday Michael, when he was on my show and we were discussing about it, data and analysis is not as straightforward as many people are made to think. Like, okay, somebody would give Levy some data and somebody would just show Levy like, okay, this is a player who has been scoring this much goals in this much particular position and all that. It doesn't work that way, guys. Seriously, if you need data analytics and all that to work, you need people who understand data. It's like understanding a computer language. It's like understanding a different language. Like, let's say I can be talking to Eugene in like media format sort of language. He may not understand that thing. Or I can be talking to Eugene in like, let's say, explaining him C++. He may not understand that. What's the point of me giving him that information if he doesn't understand that? So in the same way, what's the point of getting data analytics when you don't have the people who can execute that particular data, who can execute that particular information that they are being given? Because for data to work, you need the data driven people. You need the people who understand things from a footballing side of things. Levy can't be the person looking at the data and making the decisions for the club in terms of transfers, in terms of the
No,
managers
no,
you
no, no,
bring in.
no, 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 Elias, you're getting this wrong, right? Levy won't look at any data. Levy will hire a bunch of people to look at the data, right? And then the data will
No,
be
so
presented.
that's my whole point. That's my whole point.
That's it.
You
Then,
hire
then
the person first.
no, no, the thing is that no, it doesn't matter because whoever you hire now to go and do the data analytics, to study the data analytics, all the information gathered will be given to Levy, right? Instead of choosing the proper data analytic to follow, right? He will choose another option. That has always been Levy's thing, right? Because it's a very simple thing. Like what was it, David Webb, right? One of our head scouts during Poch times, right? They brought in players for Levy in the stadium, ready to sign the contract, right? And he says no. So we're going back to square one again, right? Okay, just in one.
Eugene, can you put that news up? I want to comment on that. So there's something.
Which one?
Yeah, the first one, the one before this. Tottenham will turn their attention to Celtics and Postecoglou and
Oh,
Brighton's.
Tottenham will turn their attentions to Angie Postecoglou, Brighton, Robert De Zerbi, Fulham, Marcos. Come on, there are 3 managers there that you can turn your attention to. Come on. Right.
Okay, I
And
can tell you guys one thing now. Hear me out
big up
Eugene, on this
City.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this one. This one, guys. I think we are going to end up with Celtics and Postecoglou. The reason being is because he's with Scottman before, when Scottman used to be the footballing director or the chief officer in one of the, I think in Melbourne. I think we're going to end up with this guy, he being our manager, and then Levy would have an excuse not to hire a footballing director, and then Scottman will act
Oh,
as both.
the rumors are out there. We're not going to hire a DOF.
Yes,
Scott
exactly.
Mann
So we are not going to hire a DOF.
Yeah.
Because this guy has worked with Scott Mann before. So Scott Mann may be the main person working on the transfers and all that. And guys, Scott Mann doesn't have the European experience. There you go. We are fucked up again.
No, don't worry, guys. Right, it's the same thing, right? When we had Paratici, it's an Italian thing. Okay, we go to Italy and do the shopping, and we go to Italy to get the managers, right? Now we're in, and we got an Australian guy here. He say, "Hey, mate, good day," right?
We got the Italian pizza. We ended up putting pineapples on it.
Oh, dear, don't go there. Don't go to Italian pizza. So it's very simple now. If we got Scott Mann, he's based in, he's good in the Asian side of things. He will bring in the Celtic manager. If he wants, don't forget, guys, if the Celtic manager wants to come, right? We keep saying we're going to bring in this manager, that manager, right? But we keep forgetting. It's whether they want to come or not is another thing, right? So
exactly,
that's another thing, right? But coming back to data analytics again, if he listens, right, to the managers that he previously had, right? Example number 1, Poch, okay? To get the players to start the rebuild, we won't be here now. And if we got rid of the Poch, you wanted a win now manager, you listen to Jose, you get the players that Jose wanted, we wouldn't be here now, right? We brought in Conte, right? You listen to Conte, right? They are the experts. We wouldn't be here now, right? So as I'm saying, right? But of course, Pristone is saying, so Daniel Levy, we processed the data and extrapolated, right?
Extrapolated.
To sign, Bastoni. Great, let's do that. Reply, he cost 70 million. I think the software is wrong. Yep, most probably it is. Most probably it is, right? Right. And of course, big up to Mark Swift. He's saying, give it the sub, right? Step up first, right? Step up first, a sub, right? And he says, not Silva. Yeah, well, Fulham. Yeah.
No, actually, guys, Silva is not bad. In fact, among the 3 names that are there, I would take on Silva. The job that he's doing with Fulham, given what he has, I think he's a good manager. I would take Silva actually over the other 2 options that were put there. But again, with Silva even as well, if Levy were to be involved in the transfer decisions and all that, he wouldn't give Silva what he needs. There's no point having him as well.
But the thing is that, would you take Silva over De Zerbi?
Yes, I would. I would take De Zerbi and coming the way, guys. De Zerbi and coming to Spurs.
Yeah. Okay, since it's like
I
that, right, we stop talking about data analytics. Somehow or another, we move to the next topic organically. Day 61, still no manager. Woohoo! Welcome to Tottenham Hotspur, right? The club that never did. I don't know what to say anymore. The club that screws you all the time.
Yeah, so I tell you, bro, what's gonna happen? Mason will come for the preseason tours. One against, I think, is Leicester. Is it Leicester? And then the other one is against Roma.
Yeah.
Mason versus Mourinho. He may win a game against Roma. Let's just see. They would pay Mourinho. Yeah, let Mason win this game or something like that. And then we will have Mason.
But wait. The thing is gonna be a grudge match. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a hell of a grudge match because what Mourinho came out.
Nah, I don't think Mourinho is holding any more grudges because he
Spurs will hold a grudge against Levy will hold a grudge against Mourinho. That's what I'm saying. Right.
I don't know. I mean, let's see how it works out, guys.
Yeah. But guys,
but because
right? But I can tell you, the pre-match friendly in Bangkok against Leicester, we're gonna lose. I guarantee that.
The Roma one, I think the Roma one will win.
Yeah, maybe we'll win the Roma one. We'll lose the Bangkok one because the Bangkok one is basically a home match for Leicester. It doesn't matter if they get relegated or not. It's going to be a home match for Leicester. And I got a whole total different theory why Leicester is in that position. And most probably they wanted that position because it's easy cash, guy. Easy cash. But no.
Yes, he's anti-Levy. I think I agree with Chris Stone. I don't think it's about Spurs fan. He's anti-Levy. And it's very clear. The Mourinho has made his feeling very clear. He was very clear, I think, since the day he left. And Conte is also, I think, anti-Levy.
No, okay. That's why we come back now. Day 61, still no manager, right? We were so close to getting Arne Slot, remember, right? And somehow or another, Arne Slot slips our fingers again. We were supposed to be in negotiations with Nagelsmann, right? And somehow or another, Nagelsmann came out and said no, right? And we're supposed to be talking to who? Even De Zerbi said no to.
No, De Zerbi didn't. De Zerbi didn't. He just did. There were no particular contacts with him. The thing with who was the. Sorry, let me get this right. That Leverkusen manager Xabi Alonso. We were linked with him, and he denied it.
Yeah, we were linked with Xabi Alonso too. Yep.
Xabi Alonso as well. But then he denied it as well. So there was a lot of shit there. And in my opinion, I think we're gonna end up with Ange Postecoglou, that guy from Celtic.
Yeah, possible. Like you were saying, right? It's possible because of Scott Munn.
Scott Munn, yeah.
Scott Munn and his Australian connections and all that. But the problem comes down again, right? What is Ange Postecoglou's release clause? I'm sure he's somewhere in between his contract at the moment, right?
Ange Postecoglou, let me have a look.
It must be around something below £5 million, right? So if it's below £5 million, yeah. If it's release cost, it will be below £5 million.
So yes, but that did not kick in next time. It was up to Spurs to agree a compensation package to him now. Okay, he had a release clause last summer already. So the thing is that the release clause usually goes down a bit. So now it would be a compensation package of probably around, let's say, 3-4 million, something like that.
Okay, so it's a cheap buy, right? Maybe it'll work well. But the problem is,
by the way, there's a lot of PR agenda now going on about that he's a hidden gem and he can do wonders at Tottenham and all that. It's going on.
Of course, it's going to be the same, right, guys? It's always like that in Spurs, right? Before a manager comes in, there will be the seeds of being planted of that he's this, he's that, right? Before a Tottenham Hotspur manager gets sacked, there'll be planted seeds of out, right, and all that. Seeds of planting in, seeds of planting out. To tell the truth, right, you don't be surprised, right? Maybe even the Celtic manager will turn us down. Come on, guys. Which manager in your right mind, right? If you have a sound and intelligent right mind, right, who's willing to come to Spurs, right, and work at Spurs, right, unless you feel that you can get something out of it. Number one, this, okay, right, and loads of this. So when you come in, it's just because of this, right? Not to bring success to the club or bring success to yourself or to have a better CV, have a call to have a better resume, right? Before you leave, right? Because have you seen, right? Mourinho coming here, right? Crash and burn, being sacked 5 days or 6 days before a cup final, and then coming out with a statement, right? That says he has got not much of an affinity with the Spurs fans, right? No, he didn't say it with the fans, actually. He said with the club, right? And the feelings are, he doesn't have much feelings for the club, right? Because of what? Daniel Levy. Okay. Now, to tell the truth, what I'm waiting for, right? Because there must be a gag order on Conte, right? It will run out sooner or later, right? There must be a statute of limitations to his gag order, right? Before he comes out and speak about our club and our brilliant chairman who has not learned, right, how to run a football club in the past 23 years. Okay? If he has just taken his job 2 or 3 years, right? Okay, we can say that he's just fresh. He doesn't understand it. He's been running this club for 23 years, right? The only thing that he has got to show for is that big, great, shiny stadium, right, on N17 and nothing else. And of course, one Carabao Cup, or the time is it Worthington Cup, or what is it, the Milk Cup? I can't even remember what kind of cup it was called then, right, under the branding, right? So it is what it is, right? But what I come back to now is that 61 days, still no manager, right? Maybe, Ramon Vega put out a tweet earlier. I'm not sure you've seen that, right? Elias, right? Right. He's already said, don't you think the people in this industry don't talk to each other, right? Don't you think the people, right, in this industry, right, won't have whispers about don't go there, right? You will never get what you promised. Okay, please don't go there, right? And of course, what Mark Swift says that we're a dead football club from the top, right? To most fans that take the crap from the top. Yeah, to tell the truth, most fans do, right? Levy Alters are the minority at the moment. We're trying to unite back again, right, to see whether we can move forward, right? But the problem is that I don't trust half of them. Sorry to say, right? Quality manager would have to be clinically insane to take the Spurs job. Yes, Crystal, so true. Plenty of other good clubs paying good money. In fact, maybe Levy should hire from
Arkham Asylum.
I know. Batman. Yeah, I get the Batman joke. Yeah, Joker. Yeah, maybe you get Joker. But to tell the truth, most probably Joker will in his face if he doesn't get the players he wants. Jason Bell says that maybe Conte staying quiet to get past the trauma of being dealing with Levy. Yep. Maybe we get a Spursvasion Cup. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do a Spursvasion Cup. Then Spurs will come to Malaysia to play, right? Yeah. Mark Swift, big up. I think the best we can hope for this at this point is Mason and the club that the club and the fans will give him time and eventually develop into a good manager. Yeah. No, Jason Bell is not before we get relegated. Most probably he'll develop to become a good manager while we're being relegated at the same time, right? Relegated. That will be his on his CV. Yeah. Ryan Mason brought Spurs to the championship. Woohoo!
Won a trophy in the championship with Spurs.
Hey, to tell the truth, right? If we drop down to the championship, right, and we can't even be first there, right? My God. I've been saying, burn it all down. Just burn it all down.
All the opinions on Spursvations are Eugene's. I don't represent any of those. I don't encourage violence.
Yeah. We don't encourage violence, right? Yeah. But we just dream about it.
I'm more of a shit stirrer rather than creating violence, according to the Spurs fans in the community. I stir shit. Eugene does the violent part.
Yeah. I propagate that, right? And of course, right, Mason Ball, yeah, Raisuke is laughing, right? And of course, Quattrari is Manuel.
Does Mason have balls? Does Mason have balls?
Maybe, yeah. Most probably Mason will be bald by end of next season if he's running the club, right?
Yep.
Pull out, he can't take it anymore. And of course, the Qataris, I'm not sure yet, right? Because I've got a funny feeling about that Manchester United deal is it's some kind of a
No, I don't think it's
smoke
happening. I
screen.
don't think it's happening.
No, it's another kind of smoke
I,
screen thing done by the Glaziers again. It's just to appease the fans, right? Try to bullshit the fans against. That's what, like, big up to the Manchester United fans, right? Feeling how the Spurs fans feel now, right? Yeah, getting bullshitted by your owners over and over again until you have some kind of PTSD, Stockholm syndrome thing that you're stuck with, right? But to
Actually,
tell you guys,
as a media person, I would love to work with these kind of people who actually create all those smoke screens and all. It will be fun to create smoke screen and all those fake designs and fake newses, fake pictures. Uh,
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that
But
that sounds like a fun job, by the way, guys.
yeah, that is Elias, right? I've got no affiliation with Elias on that.
No,
that,
no.
that,
As a media person, you know what the problem with media is. You need to look for something. If you're working for a club that does only smoke screen full of fake news and the fake stuff, there's less to do, guys. As a job, seriously, it's lovely stuff.
I don't know, yeah, creating a lot of bullshit, right? That's what you like to do.
Yeah, just creating a lot of bullshit. You don't have to do much.
I don't know. But no, to tell the truth, right? But we've been through this, right? 61 days, right, guys. 2 more weeks, right? We're gonna beat the Nuno record. 2 more weeks, okay? 2 more weeks, we're gonna beat the Nuno record, then the countdown will start, right? And to tell the truth, Arnie Slot was one of the managers, like, we were so close, we could feel it, but to tell the truth, it was so far away. That's just being Spurs again. Just being Spurs again, right? Right. And Resuke is saying it would be so funny if Glazers does not sell at the end. No, I've been telling you, Glazers ain't gonna sell, right? It's all smoke screen and bullshit, right? But the best part is that if Glazers don't sell, right, Old Trafford, it will burn down. Watch and see. The Old Trafford.
By the
will
way,
burn
Old
down.
Trafford has a lot of roof leaks and all that. Apparently,
Yeah, that's why they're gonna burn it down too. So then they'll claim insurance. Then they'll have the money to rebuild it. Yeah, Old Trafford will burn down, right? Yeah, they need to
Yep.
rebuild that stadium ASAP, right?
Actually,
Such a
can we do
great
that?
club.
Can we do that with the Spurs stadium?
Nah, why? To tell the truth,
Are we
to
insured?
tell the truth, I guess we are insured, but how much I'm not sure, right?
AIA has insured us. By the way, sorry, I'm not gonna go into that part, but I don't know like how does insurance work and all that. Like
You
I'm
mean
the
AIA has
worst.
insured our Spurs stadium?
Probably, who knows? Since they are our sponsor.
No, you must always understand,
Yeah,
right? Insurance come in different forms. Liability insurance in a stadium, there is up to a certain amount, right? You get what I'm saying? Then of course there are certain kind of insurance that comes along the way. Yes, theft, right? Burglary, right?
Yep.
Riot. I don't know whether you call natural disasters are included, right? And all that, right? Will London
No,
be
natural
flooded?
disasters. I don't know if they are because it's act of God there. That one.
Oh,
that
nowadays they
clause.
do. Yeah, they do have that. They do have act of God insurance
Oh, they have
nowadays, right?
ripped out that clause, the act of God one
Yeah, I guess
from
they
the.
ripped it out, right? Because nowadays there are too many flooding that goes around the world, so
Oh yeah,
it's
true.
part of coverage now. So, yep, they do, right? But they don't have that, Chris. I'm sorry. Yeah, we can't cover that, right? Right, we can't cover that.
No, we can't go.
Yeah, that insurance will only kick in if Levy moves out. So if he doesn't move out, it doesn't kick in. So yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it does. That's why we keep screwing up, and that's part of our insurance. Every time we screw up, maybe Levy has bought, some kind of future insurance to say that if we screw up, the club gets this amount of money. I don't know.
By the way, guys, I just want to make a disclaimer before this get clipped and then say that Eugene and Elias wants to burn down the stadium and want to cause riots and all that. We are just joking, guys. We don't have no such intentions. There are so many shit steerers and stupid people in this YouTube community who are gonna clip it and then put it that Eugene and Elias are putting on this agenda of burning the stadium down and all that. Oh please, guys.
Yeah,
don't be
yeah,
stupid.
yeah. We're gonna burn the stadium down from Malaysia, like. Okay, like. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even go to UK and
We
please, guys.
got LA 007.
Yeah, big up LA.
I better stop saying that. Most probably I'll be blacklisted from flying to London.
Yeah,
Oh,
I will be
dear.
back.
Yeah. Levy is shorting Spurs. Yeah, that's true. Levy is shorting Spurs. But too bad
Yep.
we're not listed in the stock market. It can't be shorting Spurs. So he may be finding some way to do it, right? So I've got my theories, right? So that's why we're now involved in the Asian betting market, right? Somehow or another we're getting involved in the Asian betting market. So sorry, it's not going to say Asian betting market. Also, I think we
Asian
are.
betting data analytics.
Yes, Asian betting data analytics. Yes. Not Asian
Yes,
betting market.
correct.
Asian betting analytics. All right, guys, coming back to no manager in 61 days. I'm not going to speculate on who's going to become the manager of Spurs because 2 years ago we've been doing that over and over again. Then we got Nuno, right? I went through the the roller coaster of the Fonseca, Gattuso, who else? Nagels. Imagine 2 years ago we were even linked to Nagelsmann. 2 years ago we were linked to Nagelsmann, right? Nagelsmann, Fonseca, Gattuso, Conte. It goes back and forth, and then we get Nuno, right? Somehow or another, right? And of course Nuno screws up, and then we get Conte, and Conte is Conte. It becomes now we're back to square one again. No manager for 61 days. I ain't doing a manager show because I know whatever manager we try to do a show on, study statistics, blah blah blah. Next thing you know, he says no. Go to another manager, study tactics, blah blah blah. Next thing it is, we say no. I'd rather do speculation based on certain things. It's like what Eli's saying. Scott Mann comes from Australia, right? The Celtic manager, Postecoglou, right, comes from Australia, right? That is a good bet. Guys, go put £5 on it, right? Angie is going to be our manager next, right? Right? LA077, I'm being honest now, guys. With Arnie Slot not available, I think my prediction could be right. Yep, that's what he's saying. Yep, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, by the way, guys, let me give you all a disclaimer. He's a bang average manager, Ange Postecoglou. I know that yes, he's won the league with Celtic, but anybody can do it with Celtic in the Scottish Premiership. He has never, outside of Celtic, before that, he has never, ever managed a top tier European club or stuff like that. Like the only thing that he has done is I think one job he did was in Greek, in one of the clubs in Greece, which was I think White Sea. Panachaiki FC. I don't know how good they are as a Greek club. He has only managed that club.
Yeah, I know, but don't forget.
Other than that, no European experience for him.
No, but you must understand, right? You must understand that our COF has got no European experience too, so it doesn't matter. The link is there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
no, but the thing about the UF,
we don't need data analytics to understand Spurs how they operate, right? We just got to link the DOF or the COF, right, to the manager that's coming in.
CFO. Yeah, but the thing about Eugene, I'll be fair here. The thing about CFO is that CFO doesn't need that sort of a manager. CFO doesn't need to understand the football tactics, the experience of in-game stuff and all that. When you talk about a manager, he needs to be someone who understands the footballing style. He needs to know, like, let's say when you're playing against a Serie A team, what kind of tactics you apply, what kind of traditional patterns come into the tactics of the teams of Milan side. Let's say if you're playing the Italian side, when you're playing a Spanish side, they're playing tiki-taka, how to exploit that. When you're playing into European football and somebody's doing man-to-man markings, how to break down the man-to-man marking. A manager at a top tier European club should know these things, which play a big role when you're talking about.
I understand. I'm just saying it doesn't matter about what statistics or whatever now. At the moment now, our club doesn't go on that, right? Because when we appointed Paratici as our DOF, right, two years ago, right, from our DNA of being, the what called the high press, fast passing, attacking football style, turned into a defensive piece of shit. You get what I'm saying? No? Then we started getting manager from Italy after Nuno, all right? Maybe Nuno was the stopgap manager for Conte to come in, right? And then most of all the players that we bought from were from Italy. Think about it.
Exactly.
So now we're going down.
There's nothing wrong, but Eugene, there's nothing wrong.
I know there's nothing wrong with it. But the thing is that now I'm just saying, follow the trend. Now we've gone to Scott Mann. If we don't get a DOF in, Scott Mann is from Asia, Australia, right? The Celtic manager will be the best fit, right? And hold on, I've got another guest coming on. Big up, Res.
Hello.
Big up, Res.
Yeah, good. Sorry I'm late. I don't know how long I can hang around either, if I'm being honest.
It looks like you did a lot of shopping. You can see the shopping bags behind you.
Yes, I've been shopping. Yes, that's my dinner.
And,
in there.
Okay, Res, to make it fast and quick, we went through the chairman's message, the data analytics, and now we're doing this. 61 days, right?
Yes.
Still no manager, right?
Yes.
Give us your thoughts quickly.
What more do you want to say? So I can sum it up. I can sum it up in one noise, and the noise is. That's it.
All right.
Okay.
Right.
It's
Nice
comedy.
to see you,
All right. I've said it. I've said it before. This chairman has turned our club into a farce. Okay. There's nothing else. There's no other way of putting it. We have become the ultimate banter club. Here's a little thing for you guys. If on Sunday Everton are relegated, we will be the only Premier League club, the only Premier League ever present who has not won the title. Okay? Every other club that will have been in the Premier League from the beginning will have won the title except us.
Every 20 of the clubs?
No, every club that has been in the Premier League from the beginning of the Premier
Oh,
League
from
Premier League
1991.
era.
since 1990. Yes, that's right. Okay,
All right.
we'll have won it except us.
You're talking about in the next season, right? There's 20 clubs. Okay.
No.
Those
So
have
what
not
he's
dropped down.
saying
I know
is
those have not dropped down before.
Only
Yeah.
only six clubs. If Everton go down, at the moment it's 7 clubs. Only 7 clubs have been in the Premier League right from the beginning: Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Spurs, Everton, and one other. I've forgotten who the other one is. No, Villa went down. Anyway,
Villa went down.
of those 6-7 clubs, all of them have won it except Tottenham and Everton. And if Everton goes down, we will be the only one of the remaining 6 who have never won the Premier League. Yeah?
Yeah. I know. Don't worry, don't worry,
right.
Rest. We're gonna win it next season with what's his name? The Celtic manager. Yeah.
And
Who?
Spestikoglu. And Spestikoglu, the Celtic manager.
Yeah.
You know what we're saying, Rest. We were saying this, because Scott Munn comes from Australia, right? So he's going to be the candidate to take the job. I see that.
No,
right?
No. Again, this is what we as Spurs fans do. We seem to think we know what we're talking about. We don't, okay? Most people don't know who the fuck Scott Munn is, right?
True.
Because we don't sit there and look. I did, but I'm one of the few. Scott Munn is not a football man. He is a marketing man, okay?
Yeah.
He is here to open Asian markets for Spurs. He is not here to make football good. All right.
Yeah.
Anyone who thinks that because he's got the name football in his title, that he's somehow going to magically transform everything for Tottenham on the football side of things is in for a very rude awakening. He's not going to involved in deciding who the next manager is any more than any other board member is. He's not going to be involved in any kind of transfer activity. He's not going to be involved in any kind of scouting or anything like that, which is what the things we want. He will be trying to insert Tottenham into China's bottom as hard and as deep as he can. Okay, that is what money is for. All right,
and not to forget the Asian betting market too.
Exactly. All right. Stop talking about Scott Munn in any other terms other than get the fuck out of our club. Right. I know he hasn't even started yet, but he shouldn't even begin, in my view. I'm sorry. I'm very excited at the moment.
Yeah. About Scott Munn. No, but no, Rest, to tell the truth, right? In the early stages, I was talking to Elias about this, right?
Yeah.
Levy, right, is supposed to be this brilliant businessman or whatever, right? But he's been looking after Spurs for 23 years. I still don't understand, right? If you've been in a job for 23 years, right, and you're not getting any better at it, right? Why are you still there? For 23 years, you've been doing this and you keep failing and failing and failing, and you're still there.
It's very simple. Okay, look, the way let's take a company like the one thing I constantly hear from some Spurs fans is, okay, if you get rid of Levy, who'd you bring in next? You see, the key here is that it's not up to the fans to make any kind of determination as to who comes in next. In the same way that if I say, for instance, I don't like the manufacturer of my phone, right? I don't sit there going, I think they need to change their manufacturing processes. No, I just choose a different brand of phone. I don't sit there worrying about the intricacies of the company. Yeah. The difference here is that as Spurs fans, we can't choose something different, but we can still turn around and say, I'm not happy. And we can identify what it is that makes us unhappy. Like, for instance, if my phone constantly drops calls, I can say it drops calls. I don't like it because it drops calls, right? So this other brand of phone doesn't drop calls, so I'm going to go to them. But if I can't transfer because I'm a Spurs fan, I'm supposed to be loyal to my club, I can't say, well, I'm going to go off and support, Accrington Stanley, but I can still say that my club drops points, right? That's the key. It's not for me to say why they're dropping points or how to fix their dropping points. I can speculate, but it's not my responsibility to find the answer. So the key here is that we have a situation right now in which the chairman, the person who runs the club, is answerable to no one. In a normal company, a chairman will answer to shareholders, but the majority shareholders in Tottenham Hotspur is the chairman or the company that he is attached to, right? So there's no questions coming from above him or around him as to why are you so shit, right? And so the point here is that as fans, that's what we have to do. We have to basically say, you are shit, we don't want you. But it's not our responsibility to find his replacement. But because of the way in which it's set up, there is no other power. The only thing we can do is to protest and to organize and to keep our voices raised against the man. The one thing that Daniel Levy and his Uncle Joe really don't want is press coverage. Yeah, you turn the spotlight of the press onto Daniel Levy, onto Uncle Joe Lewis, and they will run out of Tottenham within milliseconds. Yeah. And the way to do that is to organize. The way to do that is not to call in to talk sport or a call-in show and talk about the manager and talk about the players and talk about this and talk about the other. It is to call in and talk about Daniel Levy and Joe Lewis. You start mentioning Joe Lewis, Daniel Levy, Donna Marie Cullen, Rebecca Kappelhorn, John Turner, Scott Munn, Matthew Collicott, Todd Klein. You start mentioning those people, believe me, they'll start changing. Okay. Right now, the protests, which are necessary, are good and I like it. They have to continue, but they're still not organized. They're still not really viewed as a threat by the club. The minute that they put a little foldable table opposite the club shop with leaflets on it, then they'll start noticing. The minute that they start holding public meetings and discussions around the club, then they'll get frightened. The minute they stop just shouting and actually engage independently and individually with other fans and get them into a conversation, that is when the club will start paying attention. And believe me, their little assholes will start puckering up really hard. Yeah. So that's my input into the purple and gold till Tottenham are sold is start getting organized, start actually holding conversations, start a dialogue. Yeah. Get your message to everyone. Call TalkSport up every day, even if they don't take your call, even if they don't put you on the air, keep talking about it. Comment on the BBC and all the other forums every day. The hashtag purple and gold till Tottenham are sold every single time. Get that conversation away from Arna Slot or bloody Postecoglou or whatever his bloody name is, right? And on to Daniel Levy. The first names off the lips of a purple and gold Spurs fan in the morning should be Daniel Levy. Yeah, nothing else.
Yeah, that's what I do every morning when I wake up. Right, Levy out on Twitter. That's all I do nowadays. I don't even know why. Yeah, we have to keep it going. That's what I'm saying. How are we going to get this movement organized? That's the worst part because Levy has done a very good job in dividing even the Levy outers. You get what I'm saying? So now
that's
the only thing is that
That's why dialogue is so important. That is why talking is so important. Yeah, it's good. Listen, I'm not in any way criticizing the protests for making noise. Yeah, that's all fine, but it will only last a certain amount of time. Okay, in the same way that if you look at other protests when it comes to other clubs that have gone through similar things with their ownership, the likes of Blackburn, the likes of Coventry, the likes of Blackpool, right? When they first started making noise, it was important for the press to cover, because it was like, oh, look at this, Coventry fans, Blackpool fans, Blackburn fans are making noise about their owners. But if it's a constant thing, it then becomes part of the background. It doesn't have the same impact anymore. So it's important to start it with protest and then move into more organized, more reasoned, more of a dialogue around it, and actually bring people into the discussion from outside. Anyone, if you know someone, say in the press, you don't go to them and say, we're having a protest on this day, because after a while it'll be, well, I've heard that before, so what's new? But if you say to them, we're going to have a public meeting with Spurs fans, we're going to have a discussion with other Spurs fans at this venue at this time, and we're going to invite this person and that person and the other person, and you actually go through a dialogue, that is how change is elicited. Not just by shouting. Shouting is only one part of what you do, not the whole thing. And right now, I'm concerned that maybe the momentum will run out. What is also needed is someone and people behind it who will continue on the dialogue side of things, as well as the protest side of things. Protest alone will not change anything.
That's true. That's true. Right. Rest. Right. That is one of the ways that we need to actually tackle this problem. As what I understand you say is to do it more in a way that people are willing to talk to each other, to learn from each other, right, and to move forward, find a way, right, to at least, like what you've been saying, right, stop harping about the managers, the players, the director of football, but focus on the major problem, which is actually Daniel Levy, Joe Lewis, right, and the board of directors that they have there, of course, like Cullen, Keppelhorn, right, Klein, Munn. And what's the last guy's name? I can't remember.
Todd Klein.
Yeah. So at the moment now, for the Levy out movement, like you said, the protest, the shouting and all that is one part. Then the dialogue has to be another part. And from there, then maybe we'll get more attention, right? And we'll seem to be more organized.
Do you know, Don, listen, the main sort of driver of the manner in which the sort of communications happen in the club are Donna Marie Cullen. She is the epicenter of it, right?
Exactly.
The thing that will terrify her, the thing that will absolutely get her shitting in her overpriced, crappy designer wear, right, are leaflets, right? You put her face on a leaflet and hand those out at every game, and if people will chuck them away, unfortunately, that's littering. They shouldn't, but they will. She sees leaflets with her face on there and Levy's face on there and Lewis's face on there. Believe me, she will piss her pants. Right? Because she will realize that she is now facing an adversary that understands her province. Yeah. The key to getting change is not to shout at your opponent, it's to get other people to shout alongside you. Yeah. That's the key to winning an argument, is not to beat the other person, is to have so many on your side that the other person gives up. That's how you win an argument. Yeah. Or of this nature. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's very, very, very true, Rest. But the problem at the moment now, I guess, we have to unite the Levy out side first before all of us can actually sit down to come up with an intelligent approach to this, right? That's how we're going to say it in the end of the day, right? A proper approach to make them understand, right, that we aren't happy. Because at the moment now, I guess what you're saying is very true. They don't care if you have about 100 people, 200 people outside shouting at the stadium, while they have 62,000 in there, right? Who will still spend the money, right?
Yeah.
And like a lot of videos we've seen, right? Even after the loss to Brentford at home, you still got about 5,000-6,000 fans hanging around the stadium spending the money. So they don't care about that because the money is there, right? So, yeah,
Sorry about that.
so,
I had
so the only
I
thing
had a call. I'm popular for some reason.
at the moment. But what I'm saying is that the only thing is that how do we find, right, the correct people to actually step up to these positions, right, to actually do this thing properly, right? So like for me,
Anyone who wants to, anyone who
Yeah.
believes they've got the organizing power and the right what's the word, organizing ability to do it. And it has to be, there has to be, I'm not saying that there are egos in there, but any egos that sort of crop up that want to make it about them basically should put their egos aside for the good of the club, in the same way that what we are asking for is sacrifice for the good of the club. Ultimately, that's the most important thing. So if someone says, well, I want to be the leader, that's immediately something that people should be suspicious of and say, well, why do you want to be the leader? It should be someone who says, I will help. And then it will naturally coalesce around that person. But it should be someone who understands that this is a long-term thing. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen over the summer. And there will be setbacks along the way. There'll be things that go wrong, like, say, for instance, just in the same way that it happened with Pochettino, right? We get some unknown manager or little known manager. He comes in and out of nowhere conjures up a really good season, where we finished third or second and like get to a cup final or something like that, right? The anger towards the ownership will die away. I know it's unlikely because we're utter dreck at the moment, but that could happen. And whoever is involved in the protest and the organization, in the same way that Brian Daigle has stuck with it, even in the good times, in terms of success, even in the good times, it has to be with the idea that this is going to be a long-term thing that's going to take time.
Consistency. We still have to be consistent. Yeah, but the thing is that, Rez, I'm trying to ask a question. It's very simple. Like for me, I'm in Malaysia, right? And for license in Malaysia, this can't be done where I am, right? It has to be done where you guys are, to organize all this, right? I can do it in the sense of within the Malaysian Spurs fans, but that might not have the impact that we'll have if you have it at the homegrown, home-based Spurs fans, right?
Why not?
So, yeah. So, but the thing is that, of course, yeah.
Let me
so
ask you this. I'm not saying it's necessarily doable, but just as an example, let's say, for instance, outside a venue somewhere in Malaysia, let's say, just hypothetically speaking, even 5 Spurs fans come together outside a venue, like a restaurant, a meeting place, somewhere where you might all go and watch the match, and you're all standing there with Leave Out banners, right? There's the possibility that the world press will go, hold on a minute, they're even doing it in Malaysia now. Yeah,
fair. Yeah.
But then if say, for instance, a group of Malaysian Spurs fans, a group of Indian Spurs fans, a group of Australian Spurs fans, a group of Canadian Spurs fans, a group of, Brazilian Spurs fans, they all do it at the same time, hold on a minute, there's protests all around the world against the ownership of the club.
That's a good idea, actually.
And then you've got someone organizing it, I would say, within this country to say to the group in Malaysia, the group in India, the group in Canada, the group in Brazil, guys, at the next match, all come together if you can, even if it's only 3 or 4 of you, and produce a banner, right, that says the same thing. Yeah, and we'll let the press know here that it's happening. They might ignore it. The press might ignore it, but then they might not either.
That's
yeah.
That's
These are the organizational things that the Levy Out movement needs to do. Yeah.
No, I've been saying that actually. That, like, let's say, for example, they are now the pre-season tours going on in Bangkok and Singapore. Why not do the protest there? Like those are the kind of places where you are getting fans not just from that particular country, but there are nearing countries as well. Get the banners there, get the balloons there at least, and then show the fans in that region as well that we are fed up with this management, we are fed up with this ownership. Yeah.
Okay.
And big up to Raisuke. The only thing,
Right.
Raisuke,
I'm dropping my email in the chat. Get in touch with me.
yeah, get in touch with Elias, then maybe we'll link up because I do have a few other Malaysian Levy outers, right? Right.
I'm not.
And we are
I'm not.
planning something.
I'm not
We
the
are planning
organizer.
something. Yeah, I'm gonna plan.
I'm not the
I'm,
organizer. Whoever. I mean, look, we have inroads here for those that watch. We're all in a community where we talk to each other. It doesn't necessarily have to be me. It can be somebody else, right? Someone on the Levy Out movement, because I'm not directly involved. You know, I will speak about it, but unfortunately, my own personal circumstances mean I can't do much more than that. Right, much as I would want to. I can go to a protest, you know, I can sort of speak about it, but beyond that, I don't have much capacity right now because of my own personal circumstances. And that's absolutely fine if people can't do it because of their own circumstances. I'm not saying if you don't protest, you're part of the problem. No, you're not. That's wrong. That's a terrible message to send. And anyone who says things along those lines, saying that if you're not with us, you're against us, that's a terrible thing to say. But in that scenario, you know, there are people out there who can help, who will help. You just got to find them and talk to them and make sure that if someone can't protest, at least they're on your side, so who can then pass your message on. You know, this is what I'm talking about with the organization. You've got to get into the mindset of not what I'm going to do at the next home game. What am I going to do over the next season? What am I going to do over the next transfer windows? What am I going to be doing over the next 5 years? Because it could take that long. Look at Coventry City. Look at Blackpool. Look at Blackburn. I don't know if Blackpool. They were protesting and campaigning for years, and their clubs are not worth anything like the billions that Tottenham are. And one thing we know is that rich people don't give up their money easily.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Right. But this show ain't gonna be long, right? Because it's closing to 1:30 a.m. here in Malaysia, right?
I've got a show myself to get ready for in about an hour and a bit.
Yeah, Brad, you better give a shout out, right, to your show, which is coming up in about.
Your link is in there, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Right. So do come and join us on Shelfside Spurs Show. Shelfside Spurs Show with my crazy, very, very sexy and brainy partner in crime, Barry, Sean, David, Richard, Quentin, Montague, Tarquin, the
man with
Lawrence,
1,000 names.
The man of 1,000 names, and myself, the Resonator, at 7:30 tonight GMT, GMT +1 actually at the moment. So in about an hour and 20 minutes, and yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit of football, not too much, and also just do some crazy shit, which is what we do every week, basically. So yeah.
Every show, yeah.
On every show. Yeah. Last week was brilliant. We didn't even have a format last week, right? We just started the stream and just sat there and chatted crap, right? And even people, usually people in the comments say, don't talk about football much today. We'd got to the point where they were asking us to talk about football so they could say, don't talk about football, because we weren't. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing. So yes, do please come, drop us a like, watch the show, give us a subscribe, put your comments in. Comments are good. Comments, chat, all of that stuff, all of that good stuff would be very much appreciated.
And of course, most probably I will find some time after July, right, to join you guys. I haven't been back on the Shelf site in a long time, right, because of the timing.
Who said you're even invited?
Made me cry.
No, of course, you're always welcome, Gigi. Always
welcome.
Okay, Elias, are you doing any shows lately?
Yeah, I'm doing one on Saturday. Just to wrap up the week with all the news and all the shit going on. Saturday night, Sunday morning for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Step Up Spurs, guys. Please go over, give a like, give a subscribe, and of course, if you're still here, please give a like, give a subscribe to Spurs Vision TV. Right. And before we go, just let me, oh no. No, Nick says I'm not invited. Too bad. Okay. Okay.
It's really.
Because you do shows.
No, okay. Sorry. If Nick is the producer, really,
Yeah,
and co.
yeah.
So if he.
But we'll see it in 2 months' time. Right? Maybe he'll change.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a
2
lot
months.
that we can do, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick really is the sort of the king, really. You know,
Yeah.
we're under Arthur. Arthur is the king, and then
Yeah.
below that we've got like Kim is the queen.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick is sort of like the semi-king almost, you know, of it.
That doesn't
I'm
count
like
as anything.
I'm like the prime minister sort of thing, you
I
know.
like it.
So yeah, if he says you're not invited, yeah, sorry, it's not.
Sorry, Eugene.
Okay, we'll
Sorry,
find out
mate.
in 2 months' time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, big up to Nick. Thanks for being on. Resuki, get in touch with us, right, Suki? Because a Malaysian Spurs fan, I've been trying to look for a lot of Malaysian Spurs fans, at least to come on YouTube to chat with us, or actually get in touch personally. I've been trying to organize actually a protest in Malaysia. So get in touch with Elias, then we'll link up together, right? Mark Swift,
Yep.
big up, brother. Big up, Swifty.
Big up,
He's
bro.
always supporting. Big up, Mark Swift. Who else do we have? Paul Brown. Big up to Paul Brown, too, right? Huddersfield Town TV. Ryan, big up to Ryan, right? Ryan, big up to him, too, right? Who else do we have? Right? Jason Bell, big up to Jason Bell. Okay. Ellie 007, LA 007, big up to you guys. Thanks for being on. Chris Stone, big up to Chris Stone. A lot of input from you today, Chris. Right, thank you. Right, who else do we have? Have I got everyone? Jason Bell, Mark Swift. Have I missed anyone? If I missed anyone, please do forgive
There was
me.
DV as well. DV towards the end as well.
Right. And of course, Nick Brown. Big up Nick Brown. The club is a laughing stock. We all know that. Luca, big up Luca. Right, we know where you are at the moment, Luca. Right, and of course, DV, big up to DV. Right, guys, thanks for being on. Thanks for support. Right, what else do I have? Okay, who else do we have? Okay, say no more, Guff. Right, these are from the earlier one. And Sophia, big up to Sophia. Thanks for support. Right, and Res and Elias, thanks for being on, even the rest in the last minute. But very good input from Res. Right, what you're saying is very true. We have to move a step. A step ahead, right, or move up to the next level in the protest way, but not just about shouting and holding up the banners, but actually starting a dialogue with people to bring them in to understand what the movement is, and of course to show that we are a threat towards the owners, right? If they don't listen to us, right? At least they have to do something, right? They have to do something, right? So a lot of good input from Res, right? And before we go, right, let me put this out, right? And Res, we'll catch up in the back room for a while, and have a short
very
chat.
quickly. I do need to go and prep for Shelfside Spurs show tonight.
Yeah.
Eat some of my dinner.
Dinner. Yeah.
That's a lot of dinner, by the way.
It's not all of it, you know. Some of it is.
Oh, Kim.
No, it's all my dinner. It's all my.
It's all your dinner. All right. Okay. And yeah. And big up to Mum.
Big up to Mum. She's away at the moment, so she's enjoying herself for a while. Yeah, she'll be back soon. But yeah, she's having fun out there as much as that's possible in a country like that.
I know. Yeah, we know. We won't go there.
Yeah.
But thanks for being on. Right. See you soon.
Pleasure.
Oh, and guys, not to forget, right? And as always, Levy out.
Okay.